Welcome back to Fork in the Kitchen. Today we are making my homemade flatbread. It is so soft and fluffy, made with simple pantry ingredients, and is so easy to make. You're gonna love it. Let's get started. The first thing we'll do is measure out our dry ingredients. Now, for this video, I am doubling the recipe to make 4 large flatbreads. If you go to my website for the recipe, you'll see that it is half of this. So just keep that in mind. I highly recommend using a kitchen scale to make sure that you weigh the flour accurately. If not, make sure you're scooping and leveling out the flour so you don't get too much. All right, that's perfect. Then we'll add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. This is gonna make the flatbreads really nice and fluffy. So this is a very, very important note. I am using fine sea salt, not table salt. If you are using regular table salt, it's going to be too salty if you use this amount. I would recommend about a teaspoon of table salt if you're not using fine sea salt. So mix together these dry ingredients. Now we're gonna add in the wet ingredients. So we'll start with olive oil, 4 tablespoons of this. And then I've warmed this water, so it is just about lukewarm. We'll add that in as well. So we'll mix it together. Take it off the scale here. And we're looking for a shaggy dough to form. So once the shaggy dough forms, go ahead and grab your clean hands and we'll start kneading it. It might seem kind of dry, that's okay. If it seems super, super sticky, you can add a little more flour, but I would knead it for a few minutes just to see how it does. You could also knead it on the countertop if you prefer, but I've got this nice bowl here. So I would say this is quite sticky, so I'm gonna add a few more tablespoons of flour just to get it a little less sticky. Once the dough has come together and it's nice and soft, grab a clean towel and cover it. We'll let it rest for about 15 minutes. All right, it's ready. So we'll take off this towel. We're gonna transfer it to our work surface, and actually I'm gonna put a little flour down so that it doesn't stick. Of course, you could also do this on your countertop. Get it out there. Actually, we're gonna be extra precise today, and I'm gonna use my kitchen scale to try to get as equally sized as possible. So I'm gonna take the weight of the entire dough ball and divide it by 4, because I want 4 flatbreads. So that's about 173 grams for what I have. So let's take it. I'm just gonna eyeball it at first. That one's pretty close at 177, so I'm not gonna go too crazy about it. Okay, they're all pretty darn close, so we're just gonna roll with it. So now we've got our dough balls. I like to form it into more of a ball here. So beautiful. So this roller actually has what am I trying to say? I don't know, depth measurement on it. So if yours does, that's fabulous. Roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch. And if it's springing back a lot, you might just want to let it rest for a few more minutes so that the gluten just develops a little bit more. Okay, this apparently has a measurement, but I don't know how to read that. So I like to do about 7 by 9 inches. So we've got a little bit more to go here because these I am turning into pizza, which means I definitely want them large enough to hold all of my toppings, but this does not have to be exact. The flatbreads will puff up when they cook, so it is important to just get it thin enough so that they have room to puff up without getting too fluffy. All right, this one is pretty close to size, so let's roll out the rest. So cute. I just love dough. So I'm gonna stack these with a little parchment paper in between as I roll out the rest. They are all rolled out. It's time to cook them. I highly recommend using a cast iron skillet for this recipe because you want the pan to get super hot. I'm not sure if you can see that this one's smoking a little bit already, which is totally okay. And then if you'd like, add a tiny bit of oil. And then I like to take a paper towel and just rub it around so that it's evenly coated. You do not need a lot. You can even do this in a dry skillet. This just helps if you have a little extra flour so that it doesn't burn too much on the pan. So grab your flatbread. Sometimes I like to re-stretch it out if it shrunk a little bit. And as you can see, this one doesn't have a lot of excess flour. So that's what you want. Go ahead and set it in. We'll do about 2 minutes on each side and keep it nice and hot so it gets bubbly and those nice golden brown bits form. And if you are adding a little bit of oil to the pan, make sure it's one with a high smoke point, like avocado oil or a neutral vegetable or canola oil will work great. All right, we're looking good. So I'm gonna grab this one up. Here we go, just set on a cooling rack while we finish the rest. You can re-oil it if you think your pan needs it. But then we'll just keep on doing the same. And there we have it. Our homemade flatbread is ready. Serve it alongside soups, make flatbread pizza, or just enjoy it in a dip. Let's try it. Oh, look at those bubbles. It's so tender, so soft and fluffy, so good. And this took less than 20 minutes. Join me back here next week where I am sharing a flatbread pizza recipe for you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And until then, happy eating. Just so good. All right, we ready? Ready? Sorry, I'm not ready. Yeah, that was good.